Hey everyone, and thanks for jumping back into the cryptoverse. Today, we're going to talk about Bitcoin, and we're going to be doing an update to the bull market support band. If you guys like the content, make sure you subscribe to the channel, give the video a thumbs up, and also check out the Telegram channel, which you can find a link to in the description below. Now, before we jump in, I would just like to put out a note that daylight savings time, if a lot of you guys are going through it as well, if you have young children, it is certainly not the most convenient of days. So I'm sure some of you guys can relate. Certainly, having small kids on a routine and then changing it up by an hour is interesting to say the least. So let me know in the comments if you guys are also facing that dilemma. But anyways, some of you are probably wondering why are we having this update an hour earlier than normal? Well, right, it's normally because on Eastern time, or wherever you are, right, it comes an hour earlier. Now we're on UTC time for Bitcoin, remember? We're not on Eastern for Bitcoin. Bitcoin's on its own time zone, UTC. Maybe we'll call it BST, Bitcoin Standard Time. And now, so if you're on Eastern, it comes at 7 p.m. rather than 8 p.m. So just to put that out there in case you're used to it coming an hour later. We are now doing it at 7 as opposed to 8. Now, with that said, we always do these videos because we want to know where is the bull market support band, because we're nowhere near testing it right now. Of course, we're well above it, as we can see, but we'd like to know where it is, because as long as we're above it, the market is relatively healthy and we have a ton of wiggle room. Note that today the 20-week SMA is now at a very modest 48.4k. The 21-week EMA is at 51.5k. Now, I think this is somewhat interesting. Why? Well, if you draw a line at the highest the 20-week ever reached and go all the way over, we are next week getting close to putting in a new all-time high on the 20-week SMA, right? On the 20-week SMA, we are getting relatively close to putting in a new all-time high. Obviously, the 21-week EMA is trending higher than it ever has before. The 20-week SMA is lagging behind a little bit, but it should be only a matter of time here before the 20-week SMA is above the prior all-time high for itself, which was just around $49,000. And again, this week we are already at 48.4K. All right. Now, if you're also curious, the 8-week, which is what we've followed as well, that one's at 57.2K. So again, the 8-week is more or less what we're looking at for support in the event of a correction at, whenever it happens. Because if we can hold that, then we can sort of forego another test of the 20-week and then just kick the can down the road on that. So that's actually at 57K now and continuing to move up. So we're still looking pretty good, right? We're still looking pretty good. We have a lot of wiggle room in terms of that. Now, if you remember a few videos ago, when we first closed our first weekly candle above 20 or above 60K, what did we say? Why is that interesting? Well, the reason why it's interesting is because we're more or less turning the prior resistance that we had at 60K on the weekly time frame, right? We're turning that prior resistance into support on the weekly time frame, right? And really, the weekly time frame is a lot more important than daily time frames and whatnot. So we're turning this prior resistance into support. So having all these weekly closes above 60K still looks relatively bullish. We said back in September, well, we said in August, expect a pullback in September. Let's hopefully we hold the line. If we hold the line, we should have clear skies ahead. There have been a couple clouds getting past these prior all-time highs and whatnot. But look, I do think Bitcoin will ultimately prevail, and we will trend higher. We will put in new all-time highs, and ultimately we will go above $100,000. We need more time, right? We just need more time, and we should ultimately get there. It is just a matter of time, right? Time is on our side, okay? So I look at this market and I say, look, guys, it's relatively healthy. Bitcoin has been stagnant for a few weeks here. We've got a nice start to this week, of course. But note that we still are not, we still have a little bit of ways to go to get to a new all-time high. We need to go all the way up to just around $67,000. So if we go to 67K and start pushing higher, we're looking at new all-time highs. Until then, we're still just below that prior milestone. Okay, so that's basically where we are. If you're just curious, the 50-week is way away. It's all the way down at 44.9K. So I'd say no real danger there. We actually got this nice bounce off the 50-week, and then we held the 20-week as support. It looks pretty great, right? It looks pretty great. Rather than going back to the down this way and going back to 10K, which was called by a lot of people. We held the line, right? We held the line, and now we're pushing higher, okay? So what are we looking for this week? Well, Bitcoin's been lagging behind the rest of the market a lot recently, so hopefully this week Bitcoin can pick up the slack a little bit. Maybe we'll put a new all-time high. That would certainly be nice. Of course, we still have a long way to go for the market cycle. We'll keep you updated every step of the way. So make sure you subscribe if you're not subscribed. Give the video a thumbs up. Click the bell icon, turn on notifications. Remember, you have the premium list at intothecryptoverse.com. Thank you guys for tuning in. I'll see you next time. Bye.